Good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Martin's Koi Pond and Aquatics, and you're looking at a very empty 6-foot tank, because after a lot of deliberations and decisions I'm going back to tropical in this tank, and I'm going back to a variety of Oscars, or 5 Oscars. The fancy goldfish weren't doing it for me, if I'm honest. I tried them for a year and I did get enjoyment out of them, but my friend Andy summed it up when we were talking about it via text, and he said, once a cichlid man, always a cichlid man. And I don't think there is a truer statement in fish keeping. So this was reinforced when I visited my daughters on Thursday, and she has 2 Oscars, and I was just in love with them. I just sat by the tank drinking tea, just didn't want to stop watching them. They were just gorgeous and amazing, so interactive, with each other and with me as I sat watching. I think she's got a definite pair, and that's one of the reasons I'm going with 5, which will be well stocked in this tank once they grow. But I don't want them pairing off and breeding. I want them, interfering with each other in a way. So at the minute they're going to be small fish, so I should be able to get away with the plastic plants and stuff. But once they get really big, then those plastic plants will probably have to go. I've bought them from Tropco, the online tropical fish service or shop, and they're going to be delivered this morning. It's Saturday morning. Paid a bit extra for a Saturday delivery, so I'm not going to tell you what I've ordered, which Oscars. I'll wait until I unbox them and you see them. So they're due to get here within the next couple of hours. So tank is up to temp, put the heater on, freaked out at how much extra it put on my electric on the smart meter, but it's my hobby and I've got to pay for it if I want to have it how I want it, so I'm just going to have to deal with it. I'll just show you what I've done with the fancies. They're in the corner tank. I have lost a couple recently through really bad bad bladder issues. It was down to the food I was feeding, I think. So I've only feeding them on flake at the minute. Flake and frozen bloodworm. Still got this tank to get rid of, but hopefully there's a guy coming tomorrow to take it away. I did originally want £100 for that tank, but no takers, so I put it on Acrist's classifieds free of charge, and after a week or so I got someone fairly local who's interested, so hopefully that tank will be going tomorrow. Now the pond looks a bit of a mess because if you remember, I salted it last week, and because I have to return by gravity, which means you have to get the water hitting the surface of the pond as it returns, it causes bubbles. Now I use this contraption here and a pipe right down at the bottom of the pond to try and avoid too much foam, but as you can see with the salt added, it's just gone crazy. But the fish touch wood, which I am touching with my left hand, the two fish with bad sores do look like they are getting a bit better. I'm going to put a top up of acroflavin in today. Give the once the Oscars are here and I've settled them, and I'm going to come out here and give the Nexus a good clean again. But they've not really been up for any food. They've not had any food for over a week now. So that's the pond update, and next thing you'll see, hopefully, will be a box full of fish. Well, they've arrived. I have not looked at them. I have just popped the sellotape all on the box. So there's the website that I ordered them from. Obviously, I'm not promoting it in any way. It's just an online retailer that I've used before. So in the top here we've got some good old heat packs. Get them out of the way. Plenty of brown paper. And then here's my fish. So what I'll do is I'll get them floating in the tank, and you may be able to see the fish a bit better then. But that's the unboxing. They're here from their overnight journey. Now we just need to acclimate them. Right, let's have a little look. Well, they're all laying down in their bags, all of them. As everyone knows, Oscars, who's kept Oscars, laying down is not a bad thing. They just tend to do that when they sulk. So there are 2 standard tiger Oscars, 2 albino tiger Oscars, this is an albino one, and then 1 all orange Oscar, which is this one here, I guess. It's pretty orange. So we'll give them 20 minutes or so. I'm going to make myself a nice cup of Costa coffee, and I'll have that, and then by the time I've done that, they should be ready to go in the tank. So back in a bit when they're released. Well, as you can see, they're in. There's 4 of them. I don't know where the 5th one is. Now what I'm going to do is turn the light off, and that all orange ones is the biggest one. I'm going to turn the light off and just let them settle for a couple of hours or so, then maybe give them a little feed a bit later. What I have noticed is they all have quite thin bellies, but that's quite usual for a shop. Shops don't like to overfeed their fish because they don't want them pooping too much in the bags, especially if they're sending them out overnight courier, and they don't want them growing. They just want to maintain them so they can sell them. So not overly surprised that they are in need of a good feed up, but being Oscars, that is not going to be a problem. We'll get them on some sinking pellets at first. I've ordered some larger floating pellets, but looking at the size of these guys, they won't be able to take them for a little while. You know, it's weird, the 3 albinos which were sulking the most in their bags are the most active. Now they're in the tank. There's one tiger sitting there. I don't know where the other tiger is. He's about somewhere. So let's get them light off and leave them to settle for a little while. Then I'll do another quick clip later on at the end of the video. But yeah, look, they're looking quite happy. Well, good Saturday afternoon, and that was the dog made them jump then. He's just slumped himself down there. Yeah, we're looking really good. They've settled in nicely. My daughter's made a comment that they're tiny, which they are, but then, you know, only paid £10–11 each for them, so I wasn't expecting monsters, but obviously they'll grow into monsters given time. So, well, actually quite quickly. Oscars grow like crazy. I've tried them on a little bit of food, which they absolutely were ravenous for. There's one of the tigers there. You'll see them better as they get bigger and get more orange on their flanks. What I think I'm going to do is, just for those of you who don't know what sub-adult, adult Oscars look like, I'm going to put a couple of pictures of my daughter's pair on at the end of this video, just so you get to see what they look like. I tried them initially on some 1mm pellets. Didn't really take any notice of them, but then I put these 3mm pellets in that I've got. I don't know if that's focusing. And they went crazy for them. So, very happy, very active already. I'm running the tank at about 24 degrees centigrade. I think that's plenty warm enough. This one here has been sulking a fair bit, but you've got to remember they had 24 hours travelling here, near enough, being shook up in a box, because however careful the company that says they deliver them, the movement in a vehicle is going to thrash them about like anything. So for them to be so settled and eating just a couple of hours after going into the tank is very encouraging. And 3 of them have got names. I've named the 2 tigers, these 2 here, the black ones, Fred and Wilma. My original pair of Oscars I kept in the early 90s were called Fred and Wilma, and Fred was massive. He won a couple of fish shows, because I used to show fish from time to time in them days. And the big orange one I'm going to call Jaffa. So just got to think of names for these 2. But yeah, very happy with them. So I will keep you updated on their progress as they grow, and trust me, within a month they will nearly have doubled in size. They grow so fast, Oscars. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and like I say, I'll add those 2 still shots, and I'll catch you in the next one.